then also always knowing her reason for it. Her reason was always specifically for me, and just hearing she would gloat off of that. That was her. Whatever, us as rappers, we make whatever we get on these songs and we say we got this, we got that. That was her. I got this, I got that. Look at my son. Look at how hard I work and look at what I've gotten from my son. My son don't want a damn thing. Christmas is every day for this guy. Birthday is every day for this kid because of how hard I work. She taught me that.
When do you, clearly you didn't think about that as your kid. Shit, I fucking hated my mother when I was little. Like when does that kick in where you realize these women have given everything for me? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, Brett, when you come from where I come from, fortunately and unfortunately, poverty, it hits you at a young age. It hit me back then at 11, at 10 years old. It hit you at a young age that, okay, I'm raised by two unique women. Because what that said is you got your homies who they only got a dad. Some people, so some they only got a father. Some homies, and so you notice that, okay, I don't have none of that. I have my mom, I have my grandmother, and you notice at a young age that I have.
Do you think this is a strange thing to ask? Do you think you were old young? Do you know what I mean? Like you thought more mature than you were? You wanted things ahead of everybody else around you? You saw things ahead of you?
Definitely, Brett. I was one of those kids that, I was told a million times a day, you've been here before. That was quote unquote, they told me that. I was told that at least twice a day. You've been here before. You've been here before. And so, yeah, that means I was thinking ahead of, I guess, what everyone expected me to be thinking or whatever. But honestly, Brett, these days, that's every kid walking now. Just because of what they have, just because of the things they have at their right there at their fingertips. You know what I mean? So credit us from credit the guys that was that way from our time. We didn't have none of those things at our fingertips. This where we got it from. We had to go and seek it and figure it out.
So who did you look up to as a little kid? Who were your inspirations? Who were people that you followed?
Number one, no one in the world was better, bigger, stronger, tougher, smarter, none of that than my grandmother Mercy and my mom Sita. So I looked up to them first and foremost. Now, once I got a little older and was able to go out and about and develop, other things I was interested in and other people I was interested in for whatever reason, that became people from off the block, big homies. I want to be like them. You know what I mean? No more, no less. I want to be just like Bubba, my big cousin. And my mama would know exactly who I'm trying to be like, so I got fussed at a lot about that. Like, you ain't no damn Bubba. You better, so that's who I want to be. I want to be Bubba.
But I imagine, I had this conversation, I had a self-made with Nipsey, and Nipsey would talk about, same thing, and the idea of, I'd see the guys around the block, and I wanted to be just like them. Mm-hmm. I wanted to pop my trunk and do anything I could just to do better. Like, mm-hmm. do you imagine that idea of everything around you was your inspiration?
I would say for me, Brett, I would actually say no, because those people I want, those things that I wanted, I noticed that I was able to do them in a heartbeat. And so it became like, I don't want this no more, because everything around me it was not enough. I wanted more. So I would believe that I probably found inspiration within myself. Yeah, because everything around me is obviously is inspired. It's in my fabric. It's who I am, and it's a part of me. And I can't go that's who I am. But I never looked around to it for inspiration. When I did look around to it, I noticed that it wasn't enough that I was looking around to. So I needed to move up and out.
What did you want to be when you were little?
Everything.
Nothing stood out?
No, that was nothing specific, nothing. I always wanted to be everything. When I was in class, I wanted to be the teacher that was teaching. when the teacher started teaching us about a person or something, I wanted to be the person they were teaching about. You know, when we got out of class, whoever was on the yard doing something better than her, I wanted to be that person. So therefore, I started being the one that raps. So y'all don't have to look at the guy that's so cold, that's so good and playing basketball every day. The girls don't have to go over there and jump rope. Everybody about to come by tune and form a circle around me and listen to me rap for lunchtime. I want to be that. I always want to be the I guess the attention grab. I want to be everything, like I told you, and I had to figure it out.
The teacher.
Exactly.
So then, when did music kick in then? Like, when did that become your calling?
Music was always a part of, music has to be a natural thing. It doesn't have to be. You find music however, but music for me was a natural thing. Meaning I was raised by my grandmother, so with that said, the gap in music will be so different, as far as a kid and these days it's totally different. These days everybody listens to the same thing. Grandma about to post, everything's different. Back then, it was, don't cut that music up in my house. Don't cut that shit on in my house. That shit, call that cussing. That was different. So for me, music, I found music it was natural. And when I was about 5 years old, my grandmother was calling me into the living room to sing Michael Jackson for her friends and to dance and all that type of stuff. So it was without me even knowing why. You could have, after an hour and a half of performing for her people, you could have, for my grandmother's friends, you could have pulled me to the back room and asked me, why did you do that? I would have had no answer.
You like being the center of attention?
I love being the center of attention.
Back then, did you think you were good at it?
You know what? I don't think at that time that I was worried if I was good or bad. I think I was always, I was more worried about impressing. So I was more worried about what did you think? How did you think I was at it? Do you think I was good at it? And if you thought I was good at it, then to me, I was great at it.
Has that changed?
No, has not changed. That's why I get on the stage every night and tell them those 3 important things. I ain't shit without you. I always tell them and let them know.
So I think that's so interesting. And what does that say about you in the sense of you're not looking for happiness yourself. It's other people telling you, you know what, you've made me happy. You know what I mean?
I guess I believe that, I guess I'm here for that reason or whatever. And I live that out. I've always with my music, I've always seeked approval. I've never put it in your face and said that's what it is and it's the best. No, I've always seeked approval. I said I was the best rapper alive when someone else told me you the best rapper alive. You know what I mean? I didn't jump out and say I'm the best.
So Wayne, take like, I was thinking about you tonight and the fact that everybody I know is saying, oh my God, I love him. He's my favorite. At this point in your career, does that mean anything?
I mean everything. That's why that's the reason. Other than that, it's naturally impossible for me to stop. But that is a huge part of the reason why I'm still doing what I do. Like it is my first day of ever doing it, because they tell me that they love me and they put me as the best and they say they need it, and I love everything about that. I live for that.
So do you read the negative? Do you read the comments? Do you read the negative?
I don't read any comments, truthfully, Brad. I don't read the good or the bad. I don't.
So how do you know? So how do you know if they like it or not? You know what I mean?
I think that's thank God. It's obvious. That's how I know.
All right. So take me back. So I read this. I have no idea if it's fucking true. You wrote your first rap song at age 8.
Brett, let me answer that question for you a little bit. That was a little vague. Let me answer that. How do I know? I know they like it because Brett look into music, and before I stepped into it, they had music. Everyone looked a certain way. Everyone did a certain thing. Look at me, and now look at music. They all look like me.
You like that?
I love.
Do
If I didn't, I'd be the first. I'd be on every song and say, "You niggas look like me. Y'all trying to be like me. You taking my style." No, I love it. Let's get it.
Yeah. But I find it interesting because when I was on Young Money Radio on Apple, and I said, you asked me like something about being successful, and I said you got to find your own lane, and you said that's exactly right. Don't copy me, but you want to be copied because that is saying.
Oh no, I'm not being copied. I'm not being copied. Not at all. Copied is different now, bro. Copied is we don't have a game for the Lil Waynes. We don't have that would be being copied. No one tries. That's what I always. And that'd be the first thing I always say when I'm being interviewed, and everybody. And the first question always be, "What do you think about these new artists trying to be like you and look like you?" And I would be like, "None of them trying to be like me. Like maybe they go get some tattoos in their face or something like that, and the grill or something like that. But they ain't trying to be like me. They might put Lil on the front of their name or Baby after it, but they don't sound nothing like me. They don't you know what I mean? They never been through what I've been through. They not from where I'm from. So therefore, right there, everything is about to be different, and they're totally them. What's the reason they're even doing music? Sometimes 9 times out of 10, I hope that I'm the reason they're doing music. That alone, right there, makes that alone right there is a blessing, and that alone right there lets you know that they're not trying to be like me. They're actually paying homage and saying you are the reason I am someone. That's all it is.
So who are those people in your mind?
Gotta be you.
That were for you. So who are those people in your mind for you? Who are when you think back when you're 8, 9, 10, 12, 15? Who are those people in your mind?
Who are those people in my mind? What?
Who are those people that you looked up to in music, that you wanted to, that you got your inspiration?
I got you. The first person off top, when I even knew what a melody or harmony was Michael Jackson. That was my first inspiration, period. There was nobody else that even like that. Once I grew up and got a little older and it was Jay-Z, and it's been Jay-Z. And after that, it was me.
So those two, really?
Yeah. I am my biggest fan. I am my biggest critic. So that's after that, I've been focused on me and no more. And anybody around me, any artist, everyone to tell you that, any artist in the game would tell you, they already know, oh, Tune, Lil Wayne, he don't listen to nobody else but himself. And they'll be like, nah, he's not listening to his, I'm not listening to my albums I put out. I'm listening to the song I just recorded last night. And that's why I don't listen to nothing but myself. And I have no time to actually listen to no one else because I'm still working on me. And so when I do hear something else and oh my God, if I like it or if I love it, to me I look at it as it was meant to be, or it's something about you or it. You know what I mean?
So